Hello, my name is Tim Jagalo. I live in Fenton, Michigan. I'm a photographer, video producer, journalist, and a musician. I work for the Tri-County Times. In Fenton, it's a semi-weekly newspaper. I'm a video producer, documentary producer. I also play guitar in a band called Odd Hours. And this is my review of the new Nikon D500. In my newspaper work that I've been doing, I've done a couple dozen assignments with this camera at least, and I've shot lots of video with it. And my first review is that it does everything it's supposed to do. It is what Nikon wanted it to be. It works great. It's fast, it's responsive, and I can't wait to have two of these things to use on my daily job. But you probably want more information than that. So the body itself, it's basically built like the D810. The back of it is kind of borrowed from the D750, which includes the controls and the pop-out articulating screen. The controls work very, very well. I'm already used to the ISO button placement up top here. And I also like, for example, down here, you've got this little nub by the plus button on this side, so you just know where everything is, which was not present on the D7100. The light up buttons are really, really cool and really helpful. The first thing I did when I went out and shot video was I shot in like a dark club, and the light up back panel is really helpful and it's really cool. I like it a lot. I do still miss the dummy dial with the U1 and U2 setting because I like the user setting. A suggestion I would have for Nikon is to build that into the next firmware upgrade and maybe make it a user button setting. That'd be very helpful. The photos that come out of it are beautiful. They are crisp and sharp and they look finished. They've got a lot of dynamic range to them. They've got really nice highlights and things are just very clear, even in neutral settings. It's not even about cranking up the sharpness or anything. The images look finished. And because I work for a newspaper, this camera makes my job really easy because the shots are so sharp already. I don't have to do a lot to them to make them print worthy, which is really, really nice. It autofocuses extremely fast. It's just confidence inspiring. The viewfinder is nice and big and bright. I feel much more close to the subject when I'm using the viewfinder. The screen in the back makes it great and a lot of fun for handheld because the screen is a little bit bigger than, this series. But most importantly, it's an inch and a half closer to your face. And I found that makes it a lot more fun to shoot video. It's way more easy to focus. And of course, there's, holding it up or holding it down, and it works great for that. The video looks just as good as the photos. They look excellent. I really enjoyed shooting video with it so far. The audio that comes out of it is great. It even autofocuses pretty well with live preview on. It's still not perfect. It's still manually focused, but it works great. The touchscreen is very helpful if you're in an awkward spot, and it's easier to reach this than the shutter or the focus on button, or you can just tap it and it'll autofocus and take a picture, or you can autofocus while you're shooting. Another thing about live preview, you can now change your crop in the middle of shooting if you have it set up on a dial here. You can shoot a third crop. You can just switch in the middle of shooting. You can also change the aperture while you're shooting. That's new for me, at least, with Nikon cameras. You couldn't do that with the D7100 or D7200. You have to shut live preview off, change it, and turn it back on. This one will adjust it while it's recording, which is just very, very, very cool. Another thing about shooting video is the electronic vibration control. I was really excited about that feature, and it actually works very, very, very well. It's kind of sticky, though, so you can't really pan, you can't really move around. You have to think of it as more of like a tripod. If I would have another suggestion for Nikon, it would be that they step that down or make vibration control for pitch instead and let you pan with it. That'd be really cool and helpful, and maybe that's also a firmware upgrade. That would be great. I will say though that if I was not a professional, if I didn't do this for a living, I probably wouldn't need this camera. If you're a journalist or you're doing sports photography, absolutely. But if you're just shooting for fun or you really love photography but you don't really need the best of the best, I still think the D7200 and D7100 are great for DX cameras, and the D700 is probably great for FX cameras. This, again, at $1,000 more than any of these cameras, you have to really, I mean, I would say you probably should make sure that you need to use the features, but that's just me being overly fiscally judgy. I will make a separate video with uncompressed video just to show the difference between the two and what this thing can do. Because honestly, I have not really gotten into the uncompressed video that much, but I can't wait to. For an in-depth review with specific images and ISO and like dynamic range and studio tests, I would recommend dpreview.com, their review. And for a hands-on comparison in like written form, Ken Rockwell is probably going to have a great one as well. This is all the thumbs up I can give it. Again, I'm Tim Jagalo. Thank you for watching, and I welcome questions and comments that you may have about this really great machine.